Hey folks, Dan Fedor here. It's been about 2 months since our last devlog update, so I thought I'd do another one to catch you up on some of the work we've been up to. Um, Most of the last 2 months have been continuing our hardening phase. Probably one of the highlights, visually anyway, is we have new orbital track information in the nav station. So when you're navigating and you release the controls, the game will calculate an orbit that your ship is on, and it'll show you an orbital track for that, which should hopefully help you with planning your trajectories and if you're trying to rendezvous with something to make sure the orbits align. As part of that, we also re-enabled the orbital tracks for moons, which at some point got turned off, but those are back. And then one of the other changes you'll notice is when you're towing another ship, there were some issues with the controls kind of having residual momentum or stickiness. So that's been fixed as well. We've also done some work to the AI pilots. One of the issues we ran into was we noticed in local space anyway, pilots were exceeding their maximum safe speed. They should be going at 750 meters per second or less relative to the local air traffic control station, which is KLEG in most cases. For some reason, the faster ships were miscalculating that and would frequently end up going way too fast. And I think that also went for haulers. So you should be seeing them basically respond a little bit better whenever, especially when they're avoiding collisions. They won't go crazy anymore. See, population and traffic. So we did a number of changes to the way population controls are handled in the game, mainly for performance reasons. So we try and keep a certain number of people or less on each station. And we try to keep them moving around just to make them seem a little more lively. So there were some problems in the way that was handled, and you could occasionally end up with too many people or too few on certain stations, usually as a result of leaving the region and coming back. So that should be better now, and as part of that, we actually added ships that transport people from region to region as opposed to just teleporting them. So you might start seeing some pass shuttles with that nature. And it should hopefully make things seem a little more realistic. And there was a related issue where we would occasionally spawn haulers for cargo or retrieving derelicts. And what we found was that some of them were being spawned in ways where their destination was impossible. And because of a bug, they would continually respawn, and you'd end up with too many ships. So hopefully population should be a little more under control now, fewer ships that are unnecessary. And generally that should result in better performance, especially in longer saves. Let's see, crew AI had a few more tweaks made to it. It's been kind of an ongoing process, and lately we were focusing on the eating and drinking behaviors. They would historically overeat and overdrink frequently to their demise. So we've changed that, so now they will only do it when thirsty or hungry. And then if they are in emergency situations, they'll stop whatever they're doing to eat or drink. And just because we could, we added the ability to drink blood because it was the only liquid in the game that was not drinkable. And we figured, well, that's inconsistent. Let's fix that. Let's see. You'll also notice the license kiosk in KLEG has 4 new tiers, so it's 5 total. Previously, you could buy a 24-hour license, and then you would have to go back and renew it every now and then. So now there are the 72-hour, 7-day, 30-day, and 300-day tiers. They're all available at the kiosk for increasing prices, although you will get a slight discount the larger the duration is. Let's see, pathfinding, we made a pretty big change to the way the pathfinding system works, mostly to fix performance. So previously we used something called A-star, which essentially it checks every tile's neighbors to see which is the next best one, and then that tile's neighbors the next one, and so on. It ends up checking a lot of tiles individually. And we switched it to something called a jump point search, which it's basically checking diagonal directions away from where you are, and then all of the tiles in a row and all of the tiles in a column from there to see if it hits a situation that's interesting or different, and then it starts a new search from there. Basically, what that means is it's checking fewer tiles to reach a destination, as long as the situation is all the tiles have the same cost, which is for the most part true in the game. We'll see that that performance improved in mostly open areas. So for example, like large stations or big open atriums, That's where that's going to have the biggest impact. It's actually possible A* is faster in like tighter maze-like situations, but I think most of the maze-like situations tend to be smaller maps, so this should hopefully balance out for the better. Let's see, we've been continuing our effort to increase the art quality for the mega tooltip, the thing in the top right corner when you select an object and it tells you more about it. We've previously used just the same icon that was the sprite that was used in the world, which could frequently be like 16 by 16 pixels. And we've been gradually replacing that with the sprites that you see in the paper doll or something of that quality. So higher res there. And the latest batch of those have been the clothing items and backpacks. And then generally continuing fixes as we find them, quality of life improvements as we find them. And then if we see ways of optimizing the game further for performance, we've been doing that as well. But yeah, that's what we've been up to, and we'll try and keep this pace of devlogs every now and then to let you know what we've been up to. Thank you all for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.